Alright, what's up everybody, it's me, your boy Trapjack, and we're back with another fucking banger video. I was kind of wondering what kind of story I was going to tell today, and I kind of settled on the fucking DXM story because DXM's a weird drug. Like, if you don't know what dextromorphin is, it's basically one of the main ingredients found in your typical cough syrup, along with guaifenesin and acetaminophen. Oh my fucking god, stop with the goddamn rapper, bro. Holy shit. I'm keeping that in the fucking recording, bro. Holy fuck.
Holy fuck.
God damn. Anyway, you don't want your cough medicine to have guaifenesin or acetaminophen in it because that shit's bad for your fucking liver and your stomach. So you only want like Delsim, which is the main ingredient, is dextromorphin polysterex, which is the extended release version. Yeah, just don't be like me in this fucking story time because doing DXM is pretty bad. So anyway, let's just get straight on into it. This happened last fucking year, 2025, around like June or July, like probably later July. Or early June. I don't know really when it took over. I kind of like lost track because I was doing so much Xanax back then. It all seemed like a blur to me. Anyway, I was working at fucking, I'm not going to say the name, but it's a bar, it's a what they call a bargain outlet down in the South. And they're pretty much all over. But so I'd been working at the store for a long time with one of my favorite coworkers who did get arrested for fucking refund fraud and shoplifting. But we're not going to talk about him. Anyway, cheers at the checkpoint. Damn, that'd be good. Oh, man. Anyway, so I've been working with him for about 5 or 6 months at that point. We had become pretty good friends. We would hang out sometimes, and we would like sneak out and we'd go fucking watch basketball and get drunk. But yeah, okay, so we were chilling in the break room at this point, and I was telling him, like, I'm finna do like DXM today. I ran out of weed. My mom found my cart. She found some Xanax and some cyclobenzapine, and I'm out of fucking weed. I don't have anything. He was like, damn, bro, I feel your struggle. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to just go I'm going to go put some items back, like out of the carts and shit that we got to go put back, and I'm going to steal some DXM. He's like, all right. And I said, we only have we have like NyQuil back there. We have Robitussin. And the Robitussin we had wasn't like Robotabs or anything like that. It was the Robitussin with acetaminophen, guaifenesin, and a couple other shit that you don't want as active ingredients in the dextromorphin that you're trying to get high on. You want to get like, I'm not advising to do this, but you got to get like Delsim or some shit like that. But, so I'm just putting some items back and shit. I'm working my way down to that fucking aisle. And there's, like, no cameras in the whole fucking store. There's, like, maybe 7 cameras. Most of them are at the register. And there's really no point in having all those fucking cameras anyway. And I'm walking down the aisle, just putting all this shit back. And I finally get to the aisle where the Robitussin's at. And I'm looking around, make sure nobody's fucking there. And I stuff some of them into my fucking waistband. And then I pull my shirt over it. And I'm just walking around the store, putting some shit back. And I walk into a fucking aisle over into, like, their fishing section. And I down half of one of the bottles. And I put them back in my waistband, and I tore the safety seals off and threw them in the garbage. And I went and got a Sprite from the vending machine, and I was like, shit, where should I mix this up at? I was thinking about pouring up in an aisle and taking a video with it on my homeboy's phone. But he's like, yeah, let's just go rip vapes and go do this shit in the bathroom. And so we locked the bathroom door, put the cleaning sign up, and we're just chilling in the bathroom. He's taking a Snapchat video of me pouring this shit up. I pour half a bottle in there, and then I pour the other fucking whole bottle. And I'm slowly turning it, mixing it, and it looks all red and shit. It looks good. And I take a sip out of the bottle. I'm like, ooh, this bitch, it's fucking good. Like, and he tries a little bit of it. He was on probation, so he couldn't really do DXM because it would show up in his fucking piss test. But he liked it. He was like, oh, yeah, that'd be good. And if I had to guess about how much DXM was in the bottle, I'd have to say, like, 230 milligrams, somewhere around there. I'd consumed at least 70 milligrams at that point. And I'm just chilling, and I just bring the bottle back to my fucking register, and he goes back to the break room, and we finish hitting, like, I'll go in the break room for a second, and I'm hitting his vape, and he's hitting mine, and I finally go back to my register, and my fat manager walks up, and she's, like, just wobbling and toppling her way up there, and she finally gets to my register, and she goes, what did you do to your Sprite? She's, like, this old Southern lady, and I was like, well, I put some Kool-Aid in it, and she was like, well, why would you do that? I was like, well, you want to try it? It's good, and I knew she wasn't going to try that shit, because she hates Sprite. That's why I mix it up in a Sprite bottle. And she was like, no, thank you, I hate Sprite. And I said, oh, okay. And I knew her ass was going to say no. If she would have said yes, I would have been in some fucking serious shit. I would have had to be like, well, I'm sorry, you kind of can't. I don't like to share drinks. But I had shared so much shit with her, just it would have been awkward. So thank God she fucking said no. Anyway, I'm sitting there just drinking that shit, and a fucking sweet-ass old lady comes up, and I'm like, I'm starting to feel it. Like, I'm getting a little bit buzzed. I'd probably consumed around 100 milligrams at this point. I was reaching, like, the first plateau. And if you don't know, I'll go over the plateaus of DXM at the end of the video. But I'm just getting up there. I'm getting like a mild-ass buzz, and I'm fucking ringing her up and shit, and I go through that just fine, and I'm starting to sip on it a little more. If somebody asked me another question about it, I was just saying, like, I mixed it with Kool-Aid. And then finally, a motherfucker I knew who smoked, so he had a fucking 420 tattoo and a weed leaf on his elbow. And he fucking walks up and he takes one look at the Sprite. He looks one look at me. He looks back at the Sprite and just looks at me like, is that what I think it is? And I just was like shaking my head yes and shit. And he's like, oh, okay. Like he just gave me a weird ass look. And I start ringing his shit up and I take a sip out of the bottle and he smells it. And he's like, damn, that smells like cough syrup. I'm like, yeah, it's dextromorphin. It's like, oh, I thought it was hydrocodone. And I was like, no, I've done that type of lean though. And he was like, oh, for real? I was like, yeah. I was like, I was trying to get a bottle of Quagan, which I did. That's what I purchased in my last video. But yeah, anyway, I'm sitting there and I ring his ass up and I'm starting to feel it like pretty heavily. Like I'm starting to slur my words and shit. And it's getting bad. And I'm sitting there like my head's starting to fucking go in a different dimension and shit. Like I'm feel fucking trippy and weird. And I'm just sitting there, like, I got a little stool at my register. I'm sitting down playing on my fucking trap phone. And I go outside, I go take a 5-minute break, and I go and hit my vape. And I go up there and I go see my manager. And thank God she was working that day. My cool lesbian manager, she had a fucking cart. And we would chief whatever yard she had on her. She had good-ass carts because she would go up to Michigan, and she'd bring, like, a fuck ton of shit back. But we were just sitting out in the fucking parking lot smoking cigarettes, chiefing carts. And, well, we grabbed a couple carts, and then we come back. And I'm getting pretty high at this point. Go back to my register, and she notices the Sprite. She goes, what did you do? I'm like, well, I went to the Dollar General and bought some cough medicine, and I mixed it up with the Sprite. I didn't tell her I stole it from there, because she probably would have fired me on the spot. But she was like, okay, whatever. I don't really give a fuck. We're already high on weed. And I was like, it ain't going to affect my work performance. She said, okay, do you want to get off the register for a little bit? And I was like, oh, fuck yeah. So my fat manager walks up to me, and she hands me, she points me in the direction of a cart that is filled with shit that needs to go back. And I was like, all right, well, I'm going to go do this shit while I'm fucked up. And somehow these customers still found a way to come fuck with me while I was putting shit back. 2 motherfuckers came up to me and asked me for the same shit that we don't have. Fucking, the motherfucker came up asking for a cat tree that we can't sell because it's the display. And just all sorts of stupid shit. And I was just walking through the aisle, putting shit back. And I'm kind of stumbling around. I brought the Sprite with me, and it is like there is less than a fourth left in the bottle. And I'm high. Like I'm seeing shit. I'm seeing like visuals. Like the ground's like not breathing, but it just looks different. Like it just looks all weird. And I'm listening to music in my earbuds and shit. Music fucking feels amazing when I was high. And I wanted to just lay down. Like I was fighting the urge so bad to go fucking lay down. And I was waiting until I got to replacing or putting shit back where the mattresses are, because I was going to go lay down on the mattress and just be fucked up. And I'm putting all this shit back, and I finally get to the area where the mattresses are. And I go call my manager and I said, I'm going to need help with a customer finding mattresses. I was like, do you want me to do it or do you want Jason to do it? And that's the name I'm going to give him, but that's my other coworker. And she was like, no, you can carry it up by yourself. I was like, yeah, okay, I can, whatever. And so I'm back there, and I'm just pretending to help a customer, and I laid this bitch out, and I lay down on it. I don't fall asleep. I'm just listening to music and shit spread out, and a customer walks up, and she goes, are you supposed to be doing that? And I say, well, I'm just taking my fucking 5-minute break. I forgot to take my vest off, ma'am. I'm sorry. And they said, well, they don't allow that here. I said, well, I'm an employee. I can kind of do what I want. And she said, who's your manager? And I pointed her to Gina. So I told my manager I was taking like a little 5-minute break because I'd put all the shit she asked me to put away back. And I was just fucking laying down for a second. I forgot to take my vest off. And she herself lays down on the fucking mattress in the store. So she damn sure was not going to tell me not to lay down. And she knew that. And she looked at me like, okay, well, yeah. She was like, ma'am, I'm very sorry. He was on a break. He didn't take his vest off. I apologize. And she was like, okay. And the lady was just trying to get like a fucking voucher or coupon or some shit. And she was kind of pissed. And she just walked out the store. And so I was like, okay, well, I won't do that again. And she's like, okay, thank you. She said, I'll probably stop laying on the mattresses too. And she's like, are you fucked up? She's like, what do you, like, how do you feel? And I'm telling her, like, I feel pretty good. I'm just, like, fucked up and shit. Like, she calls me in the office, and she's like, she's like, I'm going to take you off the register. Like, you're just going to help me with all the shit I got to do. And I'm like, all right, bet. So she puts the other cashier on the first register, and she takes me off. And I'd finished the Sprite bottle at this point, and I'm stumbling around. She's helping me. Like, I'm helping her with the shit. We're putting shit back. We're organizing, like, displays and shit. It's just, like, real simple work, because she knew that's probably what I needed to do while I was fucked up. And I'm just sitting there, we're doing the most simple-ass shit. And she knew that's exactly what I needed to do, just fucking simpleton shit. And I finished, she's like, go clean up those fucking fishing rods. And I was like, all right, bet. So I started fucking sorting them by what type of fishing rod they were and fucking branding and all that other shit. Then I sorted all the bait and all this other shit. And, I mean, I'm surprised I got through all that because I was high as a motherfucker. And I walked back up to the front of the store and shit to buy a Coke out of the vending machine because I was thirsty as hell. And Cokes are actually cheaper than fucking water in that shit. And we don't have a water fountain that isn't rusty in that whole motherfucker. And I'm not getting water out the bathroom sink. I'd rather die. So, anyway, I get a Coke out the vending machine and I chug that shit. And they fucking quenched my thirst. And I'm just still stumbling around the store. And this sweet-ass old lady walks up to me and asks me to fucking help her pick out a clothing item or some shit. And I'm like, I don't really know much about them. She keeps going back and forth with me saying that she thinks I can help her. So I go and I help her fucking pick out this clothing item. And I see out the corner of my eye, 2 of my homeboys fucking walk in. And I feel fucking bad because they were waiting on me for like 20 minutes while this old lady was fucking yapping to me for a long-ass time. And I finally get done with them. We go into an aisle where the camera isn't there. And my manager walks by and just sees us chilling in there vaping and shit. And she fucking laughs. She pulls out her cart and hits it in front of them and then walks to the back. And they're fucking like, what the hell? Like, you be smoking with her? I'm like, yeah, fucking every day. And I was sitting there just ripping nicks. My homie had a fake-ass geek bar. Like, we pull that shit out, and the bottom thing, the switch, the shit, is a different color. Like, mine was yellow, his was fucking pink. And I was like, yo, yours is fake, because all the geek bar switches on the bottom used to be yellow. And I don't know if it has to do with the fact that most of them are manufactured in Hong Kong versus, like, Thailand, where some of them are manufactured. But anyway, that's nerd shit. But yeah, so I'm pretty fucked up on this shit. Like, they're asking me, like, yo, twin, what are you on? And I'm telling them, like, yo, I'm on DXM, bro. I'm, like, fucked up. And they're like, you seeing shit? Like, I was like, no, not really. I just wanted to lay down to listen to music. And I go, and, like, I take my 30-minute break at this point. And we're just chilling. We're all chilling in the break room. They weren't supposed to come in there and shit, but I'm laying on the table. And we're in there just chiefing yards and smoking. And, I'm like, about to, like, lay down and take a nap at this point. I had 5 minutes left of my break, and my manager comes in, like my fat manager, and she sees me laying down on the table, and she sees us just in there, like, hitting nicotine vapes. She didn't see that it was a weed cart, but it definitely smelled like loud pack in there. Like, I know it smelled. But I'll tell a story probably next week about a guy giving me free weed, and I had to put it in the break room, and it stunk. But I got a couple stories about people giving me free weed at the store. And I'm just chilling in there, and she says, get up off the table. And I'm laying down on this dirty, disgusting fucking table. There was a dirty tablecloth on that bitch, and I took it off, and it was still nasty underneath. But I'm laying down, and she tells me to get up, and I'm sitting there, and there's fucking, she brought Pizza Hut pizza for me to eat, because she fucks with me so much. I don't think she knew I was high, but I was sitting there just munching on fucking pizza. I go in the bathroom, and I start fucking dry hurling and shit, and I'm like, fuck, bro, I feel like I'm about to throw up. I ate way too much fucking pizza off the DXM, and I'm sitting in the bathroom, and I just cannot, I fucking cannot force myself to throw up, and I go out there, and I'm starting to feel better. I keep getting drool and shit, so I'm spitting in my empty Sprite bottle. She was asking me if I was dipping, and I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'm dipping. And I fucking throw the bottle away so she doesn't see the color of it. And I'm sitting at my register because they opened up a fucking new till for me since it got so busy. And I was like, oh, well, I'm not done with my shift yet. I had like another hour and a half. And there's a big-ass line of shit. And, I'm fucked up at this point. And it still hadn't worn off. And I'm checking out customers and shit. And I'm slurring my words real bad. I'm getting self-conscious about it. And I'm, like, thinking to myself, like, these motherfuckers are knowing I'm high. And it's, like, ruining my vibe and shit. Yeah. And I'm like, damn. Like, yeah, these people, like, I just could not stop thinking about how the people there knew I was high. This old lady was, like, looking at me like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? Because my pupils were humongous. They were bowling balls and shit. And finally, the fucking rush ends. And I'm going and talking with a manager that I smoked weed with. And I'm coming down off the DXM. And I'm like, that was an interesting shift. I'm probably not going to do DXM at work again. And she said, yeah, probably a good idea. Anyway, I hope you guys fucking enjoy this story. I know it was on the fucking shorter side, but I got to go out there and go get more gameplay. We've been playing some of those old-ass emulator games, and that shit's fun as hell. We're about to go play, like, some Mortal Kombat shit or something, so you'll probably see that in the next video. Anyway, I hope you guys have a great fucking day. This rehab shit is almost over. I hope I can make videos when I get out of this shit. Hopefully I'll be able to, but anyway, peace out, guys.